Today, what we're talking about is how to choose the best solar panel for the job. This is a Tuesday training. We got platform updates, we got product updates, we have news and much more concerning the Powur platform. I am your leader, Tom Linnik. I have a decade of solar energy experience. I've helped over 120 families invest in solar energy. I'm leading a national sales solar organization of about 10 people right now, looking to make that 100 within the next year. And I'm Powur certified level 3 seller, meaning I mentor deals and help out with new consultants. We are going to get into some platform updates right now. So a lot has been happening over the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks, actually. The platform is ever changing, and that's what we pay our technology fee for. It is going up, but it is going up for a reason. There's going to be plenty more trainings that are coming on. I've noticed Jonathan Brunasso's trainings, him and his team are now actually featured on the Powur calendar, so that's awesome. We got a new onboarding experience. So mobile app, what it means is it's the Google button where you can click and just sign in with your Google account or Yahoo or whatever it is. So that's really cool. It's going to help out with getting our team members just up to speed quicker and ease of access to the platform. There's going to be CRM enhancements. CRM is a customer relationship management, basically a way of tracking your sales and your customers and things that you've done. And it's all in one area and it makes it super smooth and effortless. Currently, the Powur platform does not have that. So this is huge. And it will be not a total CRM, but it will have functionalities very similar. And I'm super freaking excited for that one. Media sharing is a big one as well. In our media area, our marketing area on the left-hand side of our toolbar, we're able to actually see all of our pre-made funnels and marketing materials that Powur has made for us and our vanity URLs. It's also going to allow us to just send those things to people. So if we have their email, just boom, pop that right in there. We don't have to do copy paste. Go back to another thing. It's all going to be in one spot. It's going to save time. It's going to be huge. Leads and appointments. Leads and appointments. I don't even know how to describe this one other than freaking absolutely amazing. And this is the best platform there is. I cannot wait for this one to happen. So we're going to be able to access leads and that people are inputting directly into the platform for our Powur community. And it's just going to take this business to another level. So you have one day where you're just sitting around at home and you want to go sell a deal. Well, guess what? You might just be able to buy a lead for a couple bucks, pick one up and start your day. It doesn't get any better than that. That doesn't come anywhere other than a humongous price. And we're not going to have to deal with that. So dashboard and reporting enhancements. Know what's happening with your projects, pre and post sale, view your team activity in depth. It's just going to be a little bit more technology improvement. And there's 3 steps to choosing a solar panel. So if I'm a homeowner and I'm trying to decide, there's probably far more information than is. It's just going to confuse people online trying to look for solar panels and understand the differences and the data sheets. And the only people that really get it are like when you talk to engineers, you show them the data sheets, they understand it, they know how to read this otherworldly writing, right? Or there's electrical knowledge that you might have to have in order to understand what's going on with some of these things. Some panels will be a lot more money for not that much difference, and some actually have a big difference, but it's hard to know exactly what that is and why the price is different. So we're going to talk about that today. Okay, so the 3 steps that I think are pretty good for beginners to know if we're going to select a panel that's best for us or best for the homeowner. We got to find data sheets first. So if you don't know how to find a data sheet, in Powur, it makes it really easy. We go to our knowledge base, which is available if you just log into your platform on the left-hand side. There's a little button that says knowledge base. It's got a brain, I believe. Click on the brain. Sends you to this page right here. From that page, you're going to go and click this bottom right. It's going to take you to products and partners. And we just click on the top one, equipment, spec, data sheets. Boom. What you're going to see on the right-hand side pop up is going to be your Google Drive. And Powur just just dumps all of these into a drive for you. You're able to see it. We got batteries, we got inverters, we got panels that have just been on the platform at one point or another. Vast variety. And if you don't see the panel that you need, sometimes it does happen, you know, panels change quite often. So every now and then it might not be totally up to date. Don't come hounding Powur down for that. They'll get to it, or just grab the data sheet yourself, and why not just give it to management to put in there. If you find the correct data sheet, there's a couple ways to do it. You just we're gonna have to go to Google or Bing if you're one of those people that use Bing, and just search PDF data sheet for whatever panel you want. Energy Sage is a website that I use a lot to find downloads, and it's a platform that like reviews and talks about different things in solar industry, and they have a bunch of product data sheets on there. So all downloadable, quick PDFs, like 2 pages, that's it. You could also visit manufacturer websites for information. Some of the main panels that I like to use, Hanwha Q-Cell is just the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. They've been around for a while. They're hugely popular, if not the most popular panel in America. And then they have REC. REC is a huge producer, and they lose a little bit less power over time. So that'll be a little bit more expensive. So what I like to see when we find those data sheets, we want to see 2 things. We want to see the efficiency rating of the panel and the degradation rate of the panel. A lot of people tend to believe that if you want an all black on black panel, it's going to be more expensive. And that might have been the case. And it also, another thing was that you might think that a black and black panel would produce less power. But that's not true anymore. Black and black panels are pretty much every panel that you get now. There's only a few that aren't. And we want to know the ratings. That's really what's going to tell us how much power this panel is going to produce now and over time. And that's really how you need to judge how good this panel is, what their warranty is, what the manufacturer provides on that. And there's a few different factors. So most residential solar panels, they have an efficiency rating of 12 to 20%. And they produce about 85% of power in year 25 that they did in year 1. Efficiency rating means how efficient is this panel at churning and burning that sun into energy, right? So how much of that is it able to actually produce? The panels out in space, they use a different type of structure, I believe. So what we use mainly are monocrystalline. Polycrystalline panels are going to be the blue, like old school blue ones that you might see. They produce a lot less power. It's a lot cheaper to do. You'll see those on like RVs, things like that. Monocrystalline are the panels that we use residentially, pretty much throughout everywhere that does residential solar. They use monocrystalline, produces great, good price point. And then I believe it's graphene or something like that that's out in space, and it's, you know, there's 100 times the price, so we don't use graphene. So an example is REC panels. They'll come with a higher price, but they only degrade by 0.25% per year, and slightly more in year 1 for all panels. It's a couple percent a year in year 1, and then it's 0.5%. So in 25 years, that would be 85% production that they were able to do in year 1. For REC, it's different. They degrade by half the amount over the life term of the panel. So it's more expensive, but the amount of kilowatt hour production that we're going to get is great. And I don't even want to know what a kilowatt hour is going to cost in 25 years with SDG&E. So pick your poison. I always talk to the homeowner and educate him on what this panel is going to produce. Thankfully, our proposal software actually does this in real time. It calculates that for us. It knows the degradation rate of these things, and we can actually decide, if we look at that kilowatt hour difference between, let's say, a Q-cell panel and the a little bit more expensive REC, and it's about 500 or 1,000 kilowatt hours more over the lifetime. Well, you can easily calculate that by multiplying that amount of kilowatt hours by how much it costs per kilowatt hour today, and whatever you think it's going to be in 25 years. Okay, so that's how we would go about it. Here's a data sheet, what these things look like. So the front, page 1 is going to be this right here, nice and pretty. And this is the stuff that we're really interested in. So to the untrained eye, it's gibberish. To the engineer, it's good information. And to us, well, we just really need to know a couple things. REC makes it really well known exactly what happens. Powur in year 1, they lose 2%. Everyone else loses 4 to 5 on the first year. Annual degradation after that, 0.25%. Everyone else is at 0.5%. Powur in year 25. This is so easy to read and understand. They have made, REC has literally made this thing readable for us. They've made it readable for homeowners because they know the value that this panel produces, what it brings to the market versus pretty much all the other ones that are available right now that are in, the top tier 1 category. They know that value. And so they make it really easy to understand, and everyone else knows the value that is, and they don't make it the same. So we'll show you another couple panels after this one, but it tells you right here, 92%. So that means year 1, 1,000 kilowatt hours produced by a couple panels. 25 years, you just 8% off of that. Right, so it's still producing 920 kilowatt hours in year 25. It's absolutely insane. So they're built to last, and technology, not going to get too much better than that. Just going to get smaller. Dimensions are what we also want to look at. So REC right here will be a 66 cell panel. That means that it's going to be falling into the 6.2 foot range. Most all residential panels are 3.5 feet wide by about 6 feet. And the only time this changes is when we see abbreviations on here. So our equipment sheet, when we're doing presentations in Solo, when we request proposals, you really want to know the abbreviations to things. So BOB, BOW, 60, 66, 72, what does any of that mean? So we can guess that REC Alpha 400, the 400 means it's a 400 watt panel. BOB, black on black. BO white, black on white. It's not a white panel, it's a white back sheet. So the outside of it, it's still going to have glass that is somewhat black. It might have cell structure, grid structure. But generally, if it's black on black, you're not going to see anything other than just black squares or just completely sleek. The Canadian solar panel, this 395 watts, this is a 72 cell panel, and I believe they're half cells, they're cut in half, so it's around 144. What this means is this is just a really tall panel, right? It's bigger. So we haven't been able to really produce any more power out of the sizing that we have currently today. It came a long way in 5 years, but we pretty much hit that max as far as I know. It seems like we're just adding an extra layer of panel in order to create a little bit more power without having to add a whole another panel on there. So it helps us with efficiency, it helps us with smaller roofs where you really need to maximize that benefit of as much power as you can get. That's where a strong, higher producing panel will come into handy when we don't have much roof space to work with and we have a big bill that we need to get rid of. So this Canadian solar panel, this is going to be for you're just run of the mill. There's no space concern. It's 72 cell. That means it is going to be a big panel. So this thing is almost 7 feet tall, still 3.5 feet wide, but a good foot taller than the 60 cell, which would be something like the old Q cell 350s that were the black and white panel that we had. And 66 REC, it's going to be just above 6 feet. I love working with the 66 cell panels. It just makes life really easy. And it seems that's pretty much where a lot of panels are today. Let me go ahead and go back one slide. Here is one of our Texas solar panels. So Mission Solar, if you've ever heard of Mission Solar Energy, these are straight out of Austin, Texas. It is 100% made, manufactured, sold here in the United States of America. So this is a fantastic panel. Whenever we do Texas jobs, it's highly requested. They have one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen as to what you can do to one of these solar panels. These things pretty much stood up to everything, including driving Humvees over them outside of a cannonball. So cannonball was the only thing it couldn't handle. And yeah, it's awesome. So you definitely check that out. I should have put it in here to watch with you, but it's freaking awesome. As far as this panel goes, it is a tall panel. So 8 inches taller than I am on a good day. And these are the dimensions for the panel. They do it in millimeters a lot of the time. So you'll have to use just a millimeter to feet or inches in order to get the actual sizing for these things. But 72 cell, that means that this bad boy is going to be about 7 feet tall and still 3.5 feet wide though. Okay, black on black, BOB, 415 watts. So module efficiency, there's the efficiency rating right there, highly efficient, great panel. And then you don't see that one piece of info that tells us how much we're going to produce in 25 years because REC is the only one that wants you to know that stuff. There is a way to calculate that. There's a way to figure that information out, but a good rule of thumb is most all of these panels outside of the top tier are going to be producing in the 80 to high 80s range in year 25. Okay. Oops. Okay. All right. We did a quick one today. Wanted to get that information out for future trainings. So 9/6, the next meeting that we have, I'm going to go through a little bit deeper dive because panels they're constantly changing, but we work with generally the same 2 inverters. It's either going to be Solar Edge or it's going to be Enphase microinverters. So we'll go into the benefits of both of them. We'll talk about the use of optimizers that are helpful instead of having it be a completely string inverted system. It's somewhat similar to microinverters and how they work separately. It allows them to detect when something's not producing as much and kind of make up for it. So that's something that we'll get into a lot. It'll be a little bit more technical. For the 13th, I'm going to go through pretty much how I get solid referrals from my partners in BNI and how I give them out and what to expect when you join a BNI chapter. So givers gain, that's the mentality. And I don't expect to gain if you're not giving. My referrals have gone up tremendously when I'm referring others and staying active in my group. That's also helped me a lot professionally. 9/20, we're going to talk about digital door knocking. It's going to be a big one because I'm going to have my scripts ready to roll and we'll have some good stuff on that day. And then 9/27, Frankie, this is when you're firing off, dude. We need to create your sales presentation before this date because I'm going to go through mine. I'm going to explain certain reasons for why I'm placing things in certain areas. We're going to talk about how to speak to homeowners when we're doing these presentations. And then I just want to know, man, hop off mute. Is there anything that you might want me to train about? You don't have to drop it in the chat. Just let me know, dude. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Those are pretty much all the ones that I was already wanted more information on already. So I think you already got a good list already.
Okay, cool, man. Cool.